Weezer, why'd you have to do this? Oh well, it's like Christmas has come early. Ah, don't you love summer vacation? I'm so glad I'm not part of some ancient Egyptian prophecy and I can just relax.
Gonna ride my bike, gonna go somewhere. It's my favorite time of year.
And if you're listening to this, then I didn't properly film a good intro to this video because of something unforeseen that went wrong.
Not looking so bad. Not as bad as my last video.
Let's see what's holding future Cheddar up, shall we? Guys, I was woken up by someone picking up my box. I couldn't switch on my camera because it makes a beep when I hit record. Wonder if I should even have lights on. Whoa, I think we're moving now. I can probably talk a little louder.
Let's just jump into it.
Weezer has gone off the deep end. The hip-hop deep end. We've all been there. And I know I'm really late to this, but Pacific Daydream is the worst album by Weezer. That's right, rock critic. You can eat me.
My pussy itches. What the fuck is a Weezer?
I know it's got tough competition, but you've gotta listen. Well, let's just take it track by track to give it a fair chance. The album's opener is called Mexican Fender. Huh, kinda reminds me of the Smashing Pumpkins song from that year as well. What was that song called? No, that's not it. Oh, come on, stop it. Anyways, it's an okay song, only consisting of basic power chords, so it's very simple. But the guitar does this syncopation in the verse and pre-chorus that just sounds interesting and funky.
It was hot, 100 degrees, but she only went in up to her knees.
But there's no solo, a major oversight in my books. The bridge is just bad.
Gotta fly so high to a place that we have never seen ever since you came round in a green city and faded jeans. Oh, I gotta go see Pat around the corner. Come a little closer.
Did they make it up on the spot? I want to know, because you can make the bridge something cool and they wasted it. Should I be happy that there's a bridge at all? But the music video is absolutely adorable though. It features this seagull that's just smitten by this lady that he sees on the beach. Really, I recommend you go and watch it. So you like that song? Oh, no reason. By the way, I'll make a little flowchart up here of what we just heard. The song starts on the verse, goes into the pre-chorus, then the regular chorus. It does this little pattern again, then goes into a bridge, back into the chorus where it ends. This may look pointless, but I just wanted to write down the bare bones of the song is all. As we move on, this should make more sense. Uh-oh. Okay. I've been placed on a conveyor belt, and I've just started moving for about a minute now. I wonder if they're gonna beep us in. We got beeped in a second ago. I'll try to keep the video going. The second track is called Beach Boys, and the verse starts off with this funky bass line.
The sun won't shine tonight. Metro screaming by, walking with the Mexicans. Should I call an ambulance?
Funkier than Weezer usually is, but the chorus makes up for it for being predictable. That's a good word to sum up a lot of this album, but I'll try not to generalize that much. We are going track by track after all. The bridge sounds like I've heard it before somewhere.
I've heard that before.
I hate this channel.
No! No, not like that. It just sounds generic is what I mean. It's just not very good. Then it just goes back into the lame chorus and just ends with no solo. And I know what you guys are gonna say. Oh, Cheddar, it's a hip-hop world, and we're just the furniture. I get it. Weezer guy loves his Beach Boys, but the song is just shallow. Also, I'll add Beach Boys to our chart here. There we go. Notice how it's just Mexican Fender, just without the pre-choruses. Weird, huh? The next track was my first taste of the album.
I always hated it.
Listen, as soon as I heard Feels Like Summer, I lost hope completely for this album. Look, this is as good of a red flag as it gets, people. The verse has Rivers prattling in a weak voice about utter nonsense and whatever just sounds good to the beat. Climbing on a table, now I'm a computer. You girl, you looking so fine. Bye bye, sugar blue eyes. The pre-chorus really sounds like Rivers is trying to pull a fast one on us and just slip it by us before we notice.
I'm holding on, and I don't wanna let you go.
Seriously though, we're letting stuff like this pre-chorus pass when it comes to Weezer? They've literally lowered the bar like in that South Park episode. We'll need another Everything Will Be Alright in the end to go find the fucking bar at the bottom of the ocean where this song festers. And that bar lowering has led us to this chorus. That's it. Why does it feel like summer? Shouldn't the verse break this down? The verse is just random garbage trash. This song belongs in a... Hey, what's that noise? Ow. Ow. Okay. I finally put everything back after the camera fell. I think we landed in a large pit of other boxes. I think the corner of the box caved in from the crash. Hope this thing doesn't just fall apart. I need a brush. Anyways, where were we? Oh yeah. The bridge sounds like no thought went into it at all. What's the deal with these horrible bridges? At least it's not as bad as that Turnip Johnson guy. We actually used to be friends. He would always leave me these Brigford beef snack bites. He even started building these little metal jungle gyms to put them in, just for me. But then he went and nailed spikes on the top of our fence. Like, what the fuck, Turnip Johnson? I thought we were friends. Now my paws have all these puncture wounds all over them. You know what? Fuck Turnip Johnson. I hope he dies. I honestly believe that a lot of these songs would sound better if their shitty bridge just didn't exist, because a bad bridge makes the song sound like it's falling apart. That's a constant throughout every song on this album. Just shitty bridges galore. I would expect more from 6 writers? It took 6 people to write this song? Yeah, right. Okay, so I'll add Feels Like Summer to our graph here. And what's this? It's a carbon copy of Mexican Fender.
Nice.
The bridge is even in the same spot. Get ready, because the next song is the worst song on the album. Although there are a few to choose from when it comes to the worst on this, I just happen to hate Happy Hour the most. This is as bad as it gets. The verse is just like that last song. It's just stream of consciousness garbage. In other words, it sounds like he made it up as he went.
On the stage, high on music, teeth grinding, sweating.
God, I just can't stand these stupid hip-hop songs. Also, fun fact, Rivers Cuomo used to brag about having wrote this whole album without using the word girl a single time. An impressive feat, I must say. But on the last track, he ends up singing it anyway. But this little challenge that he set up for himself causes him to have to find contrived ways to not say the word girl. Why? The bridge is weak.
Maybe I'll meet a scientist in sweatpants and a hair tie. We'll conversate about better birds and MIDI keyboards and we'll slow dance. Head on my shoulder.
Papa, what's going on?
Isaac! Hey!
Another bridge that sounds thoughtless. It's like the Krispy Kreme of bridges. It also barely counts as a bridge because they sing part of it in the chorus at the end. Also, if another song goes into a shitty bridge and then back into the chorus and just fucking ends with no solos, I'm gonna break something. or their cover of that one Toto song. Yeah, that one, I guess. Weezer had a nasty habit of posting Happy Hour with increasingly unfortunate remixes.
I'm like Stevie Ray Vaughan on the stage, high on music, teeth grinding, sweating under the lights, but then my boss calls and she's crushing me with a 20-ton weight, just like in Monty Python. Somebody left.
They can't really think that these sound good, right? I mean, what's the deal? Each one of these remixes brought me closer and closer to the litter box. Here's the chart for Happy Hour. Happy Hour was nominated for a Grammy? No, maybe I'm the stupid one. It seems like I'm the only one who hates this stuff. Let's just move on, away from this horrible song. Come on, this song has 3 writers? Weekend Woman is the name of the next song, and that alone I always found kind of off-putting. Isn't Rivers Cuomo married? It feels like a very promiscuous song. This just feels like that one song off Hurley called Smart Girls, where Rivers is banging all kinds of smart girls in buses, in planes, on boats, on trains. It's very odd. But looking at only the lyrics and refusing to believe that this song is about adultery, it's actually kind of an innocent song about visiting a female friend that's actually kind of sweet. And looking at only the chords, it's made up of almost only flats, creating an interesting feel. It's almost like this is some lost, unused song off Green Album or something. Oh wait, it's a lost, unused song off Green Album? Now that makes sense. What really stops this song from being any good is a constant problem throughout the album. Its presentation. The opening literally sounds like an ad that you have to skip after 5 seconds. I'm not kidding. I've tricked everybody that I've shown this song to into thinking that the intro was an ad on YouTube. Then I subsequently tricked them into thinking that the song is about cheating on his wrinkly old wife. God, but the way the bridge goes back into the chorus. Just so disgusting, but on its own, I guess that's normal. Man, listen to me, my standards are lowering by the song. According to the chart here, the song is just Mexican Fender. Huh, no solos either. What are those, am I right? The song after Weekend Woman is called QB Blitz, and it's next in line for the worst song on the album. Forgettable is all heck, most definitely the worst chorus. And why does he bring up Star Wars? I just hate songs that go, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa, oh. Personal preference, I know. The bridge happens.
Sing for the moment, in a place on the ocean, in the middle of a snowdrift, we're alone in the universe. Sing for the moment, with a paper lantern over the line. Sing for the moment.
I always hated it.
It's there. What do you want me to say? These lyrics sound like Rivers got hit in the face with a shovel like Little Nicky. This song gave me AIDS. Let's look at the graph here, and oh, it's just fucking Happy Hour. Great. Moving on. Wow, I kind of rushed the last song, but there really isn't much to say, so I don't want to waste any more time on it. It's bad, guys. Just trust me, it's bad. Up next is the song Sweet Mary, and when I first heard it, I hated it so much, but the previous 6 songs most likely had me in a sour mood. This song on its own is unique from the others, but not in its presentation. It's still presented in that same predictable hip-hoppy way. Just look at the graph for it. Just by starting in the chorus, it helps differentiate this song from the others and make it slightly more complex than the rest. It also has this bridge that exists and happens.
I
It exists all over the place. Isn't that just kind of sad though that I didn't have to draw a new graph until 7 songs in? We're 7 songs in. It's like we've been listening to the same song until now. You see, if I were a terrible songwriter and I wanted to make a whole album but only had enough ideas for 3 songs, all I would have to do is make the first song 8 times. It's genius, really. It's like you're supposed to be so sensory deprived at this point that when a song finally sounds different, you're supposed to be like, what? What? It sounds amazing. They're geniuses. Well, I'm not falling for it. The preceding song is called Get Right. And to be honest, I kinda liked this one on the first listen, but I ended up hating it just like the rest before the 3 minutes and 13 seconds were even up. It's even next in line for the worst on the album. The verse starts out misleadingly calm, with the chorus sounding like it's from a completely different planet.
I've been spending time alone.
It really feels surgically stitched together. It just sounds wrong. And doesn't the bridge sound a little familiar?
Why won't you tell me? I already know the answer. Why won't you tell me it's over? It's over. Why won't you tell me? I already know the answer. Why won't you tell me it's over?
Well, it should, because Get Right and Sweet Mary's bridge are one and the same.
Why won't you tell me? Who is she?
Actually, hold on. I want to try something. No, they sync up perfectly. This leads me to believe that Get Right and Sweet Mary were once the same song. And I'm gonna go off on a limb here and say that Rivers probably needed an extra track for the record. So he divided this song in 2 and dressed up each half to cover his tracks. Seriously, it's the same bridge with different lyrics. Come on, I know your bridges are meant to be forgettable on this, but it's hard to hide it when I just heard the song that you stole the bridge from. If you look at Get Right's graph, you'll notice it's just Happy Hour. This song makes me want to eat the grass. Get Right is just generic. La Mancha Screwjob may be one of the better Mexican Fenders. Instead of going for this clash of chill versus hip-hop, it embraces its hip-hop cancer and really rolls with it. It has this lead guitar part that almost sounds like a guitar solo, if you squint your ears. But the bridge still has that shovel-face vibe to the lyrics. It sounds like it was written by a 3rd grader, not 2 professional songwriters. This makes even less sense than yesterday before I hopped in this box, when Turnip Johnson came home with a fully grown bulldog in a doghouse. I mean, where do you get a fully grown bulldog? So far, the bridge has been in the same place in every song, and it might be normal to use a bridge this way. It's just painful to hear them continuously throw away the bridge like it doesn't even matter. And finally, the last song on this album is Any Friend of Diane's, and it's actually kind of a breath of fresh air. And take that with a bucket of salt, because who knows how low my standards are after the other 9 songs tried their hardest to lower the bar as far as possible. Whoa, on Wikipedia it says Rivers came up with this hook right away instead of the 10 to 15 minutes it normally takes to write a hook. 10 to 15 minutes.
I think, well, making records is a very interesting process. I don't think it's quite as planned out as, say, like a film would be, where you have like a storyboard and everything. It's really all about the way things sound and feel. And
it's all making sense now, because he's writing these trash choruses and then filling in the gaps of the verse and bridge with stream of consciousness garbage. I just think that you would get better songs if you spend more time putting thought into your choruses. And Rivers loves his choruses, so if he only spent 10 minutes on them, how much time do you suppose he gave to the bridges? I'd say half that, probably even less. It also says that he would come up with about 5 to 10 choruses throughout the week, and at the end of the week, they would all listen to the choruses he came up with and pick out a few that would sound good for each of the particular songs here and there, and guys, it shows. It was just another line on my list. I sang that, and I started cutting and paste. I just put them together and they seem to work together. You know what? I'm closing Wikipedia. This song on its own is a step up from the rest. It's clear if I show you its chart. Right off the bat, it doesn't fit in the Mexican Fender's set formula. The verse has this funky guitar lead that clashes with the acoustic guitar, which itself is going for more of an advanced scrotal cancer kind of vibe, but I can dig.
Looking at Papa John's, I was making good bread. Got a $20 tip on New Year's, and I moved out to LA.
But the whole song is just 4 chords.
Headbang in the crowd, dives on the stage with black hair and a Smith shirt. Me is murder.
And the bridge is just 3 of those chords played in reverse order.
We went down to the bank of the river, and she washed my dirty hands. I'd been hanging around in a cloud of shame till she allowed me to taste the cold.
Oh, but the solo on the bridge? I don't care if it's sensory deprivation talking, but it just sounds so good. I love acoustic solos, and the solo's even played on the bridge. It doesn't even lead back into the chorus immediately. It ends on this snare drum that sounds like it's being played by the Incredible Hulk, accompanied by a sing-songy xylophone. It ends before anything interesting really happens. And I get that they were going for the haunting end to this record, but for some reason it just feels like this would have made a good interlude on a song that wasn't made up when he looked at the title of a Cheers episode. This tries to invoke something deep when it's on one of the most shallow songs on the record, and that ends Pacific Daydream. Honestly, on my first listen, I was shocked at how bad it was. I went online only to find that everyone loved this album. Or if they didn't like it, it wasn't worth getting upset over and making a huge long video over it. It was just middle of the road. But Weezer thinks we love it. Look at that, 87% positive. We're actively telling them that this is the kind of music we want them to keep making. And that brings us to their latest release, the the African American album. This album was supposed to be a departure from Weezer's traditional sound, going for more of a darker tone. But after Pacific Daydream, I knew deep down in my heart that this album would suck the big one. And it doesn't disappoint. It sucked hard on the big one. Every problem that Pacific Daydream has found themselves woven into each of these songs. The insipid songwriting, the clashing tones, and even the formulaic song structure are all very well accounted for. The first song, Can't Knock the Hustle, is a vile little song with the blemish of a music video that features a Uber driver that's uncomfortable because of a couple making out in the back seat. It shows the guy licking her foot and stuff. It's horrific. Stay away. The song structure is so boring, and there's no solo. What is wrong with you? Let this set the stage for this terrible, misguided album.
Alright.
The next song, Zombie Bastards, was the first song that I heard from the Black Album. I thought that it sounded like shit. Why does it literally sound like Rivers was beat in the head with a 2x4? And the structure is just Mexican Fender. Big surprise, am I right?
But all I saw out there was Jimmy the Cheapskate.
What? He really says blah blah blah. Oh, what's wrong, Weezer fanbase? You've got something all over your face. Ew, it's Rivers Cuomo's spit. Gross. Hey, don't worry, I'll wipe that off. I'll wipe that off for you. There. Ew. That wasn't very nice of him. This song sounds like it was made up as he went. Isn't this new album supposed to be dark? How in the world is doing the same repetitive garbage song again darker in particular? Is it because he says bastards? Some people speculate that the zombies that River is referring to are the haters, for lack of a better word. People like me. Essentially a straw man of the fans who demand that Weezer sound a specific way. Personally, I don't believe this yet. The verse would back this up, but instead he just rambles about random nonsense like in Pacific Daydream. Yeah, Kool-Aid, whatever, blah blah blah. What trash. Between me making this script and the future, they released another album called the Teal Album, or as I like to call it, Karaoke Night. High as a Kite is just happy hour with a solo on the ending chorus. Although the music video takes after Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, so it's really cool. Rivers even gets ready just like old Mr. Rogers. Living in LA sounds like garbage. Rivers continues to create some of the most shallow music to date. Take note at how all songs on the Black Album are named after some part in the chorus.
Can't knock the hustle. Die, you zombie bastards. I'm high as a kite. Don't you think I know? Yeah, I'm living in LA. She cut me like a piece of cake. She cut me looking at me. I'm just being honest. Too many thoughts in my head now. Here's the prince who wanted everything. Do you know what I mean? It's Byzantine. California snow never let me go.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
Just by looking at the song, you already know 85% of the song before you even listen to it. Now, I know this is normal, but you're generating the opposite of interest. You're creating predictability. That's probably the last word you want associated with your music. The verse is rambling nonsense, just like Pacific Daydream. You could swap out any of these verses, choruses, and bridges and end up with practically the same group of songs. Hey, whatever happened to I forgot that disco sucks? Is disco cool again, you fucking idiot? If this song isn't an unused Pacific Daydream track, I'll eat my chair. Hooey. The next song's a doozy, so buckle up. Easily the worst song on the album, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Piece of Cake was meant to sound like the worst, as a scapegoat to cover up the shittiness of the other songs. This song is slightly different by having the bridge go into another verse instead of the chorus like usual. But that's the only good thing I can say. The verse, chorus, and bridge sound like they were written by someone with brain damage. Just like all of Pacific Daydream. You could swap this song out for any song off that album and I wouldn't even notice. Wow, that bridge is dark as fuck, mate.
She was into me, and then she changed her dial like I'm grunge or gangsta rap. Now I'm hanging out with a kitty cat.
Don't Fuck with Rivers, I'm Just Being Honest is a very good example of how shitty Weezer is right now. This song is recycled from Rivers' Japanese side project, its original name being Real Intention. And even though it's in Japanese, the original version of this song sounds amazing. It really gives me Maladroit flashbacks, and that solo is great! It's really that cherry on top. That's the way it should be. But the version on the Black Album is watered down beyond belief. The real drums have been traded in for garbage synthetic ones that we've been traded to all throughout Pacific Daydream. They've neutered the tempo to the point that any lyrics will fit, obviously to help Rivers localize the lyrics for us, and just for good measure they circumcised the solo off the track. I mean, it did sound different and interesting, so it wouldn't really fit on this album anyway. Several sections of the song sound rushed, but it's only because Rivers literally mashed a Japanese song through an English filter. God, it really shows here. How come California Kids turned out okay?
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
The next song, Too Many Thoughts in My Head, starts out kinda like a Red Hot Chili Peppers song, but something's not right. Notice how they only ever emphasize notes that happen on the beat.
Stay up reading Mary Poppins, overwhelmed by Netflix options. Boy found brains he never knew he had.
Once you notice this, it's all that you can hear. You see, expert songwriters will often emphasize notes not found on the beat. Doing this is an extremely effective way to surprise the listener and keep them intrigued. But what we see put into practice here is the opposite effect. Almost every note is found on the beat, generating no interest, building no tension, going nowhere. This creates a very boring song. Not only that, it's slow too. 4 minutes with no solo? Yeah, I'll pass any day. The next song is actually a good example of this. Listen to how the guitar at the beginning almost deliberately dodges the beat like it's the plague. The boringness of the vocals clashes with the guitar's syncopation to create an ugly vibe, the musical equivalent of drinking spoiled milk. And the bridge is just where the whole song falls apart.
Because life will make a beggar of rich man, putting the sovereign to his knees, and all the gold and all of the platinum melting like a drop in the sea. He's the only way to escape is to distance into the flames.
Jesus Christ! God, it's so bad, it's like it's crying out for help. Byzantine, the next song, is very, very bad. It's obnoxious with its... It's insipid with its lyrics lifted directly from Rivers' text messages. And it's flat out disgusting with the chorus having Rivers begging somebody to do something unique to him. You guys enjoying this dark outlook on Weezer? What, you can't see what I mean? Come on, he said the F word in the second line. How much darker do you want this to get? And in case I haven't said this yet, fuck this song. It's as formulaic as it gets, and it's just gross, it's annoying. Byzantine is clearly what Piece of Cake was supposed to distract us from. Can you believe Weezer would try to pull a fast one on us like with Byzantine and Piece of Cake? What hacks? California Snow has an awful chorus. It's so shallow. This is Weezer pretending to be someone they're not. Everything about this song feels synthetic. I'll bet when they play this live it looks like this.
Check out Ferb. See, Dad? It's cool to show no effort. Let the technology and machines do the work. Primo, Dad.
This song sounds like shit, but I kinda get the vibe that it was intentional because of all the wallowing it does in said shit. It also features some rapists that I don't really give a shit about. This is Weezer appealing to the least common denominator, like in Pacific Daydream. This song is literally a single progression on loop for 3 minutes 33, except for the bridge, which plays But upon second glance, California Snow is the perfect song to close out this record. It's boring, it's insipid, and it just flat out sounds like shit. It is literally the definition of Weezer right now. They're putting no thought into what they're doing. And why should they? If I was in their place, I wouldn't have to try either. I would just ride the wave and stick to my formula for the rest of time. Well, hopefully along with me, others will finally start catching on to your tricks and will not stand for this mediocre trash anymore. We should expect more from Weezer. We shouldn't have to deal with this. We shouldn't stand for anything less than inspired and amazing songs. And until Weezer stops doing this, we have to tell them, go fuck yourselves. And don't come back until you unfuck yourselves. Take a year or two. Just focus.
This can't be the place where Cheddar buried those magic turnip seeds. Let me check the map he made. Well, shit. Oh, it's gotta be down here somewhere. What? You're not magic turnip seeds?
I'm such a big loser. Got no job, don't pay rent. I live with my parents in the city friends, got no life. I won't have a housewife, always sad or angry. My parents must hate me in a shitty film. I don't have any skills. Negative experience.
Do you want to rub?
What?
Do you want to rub?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's rub.
Alright, let's rub. Let's rub.
I fucking yip till I spit, 'cause I'm so scary. So suck this.
This was a bad idea, Ash. Run! Run!
Excuse